Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you? I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIPS Home School. This is Kamrun, assistant teacher of English, National Ideal English Version School, Teship. My dear students of class 9, today I am going to take your English first paper. And our today's topic is lesson 2 from Unit 1. So let's start the class today. And all of you can take your English 42 book in front of you. It will be helpful for you. Now lesson 2. Look at the title of this lesson, The Tale of Homecoming. And now there is a picture. All of you look at the picture, and what is written there? Bangabandhu's homecoming on 10 January 1972. So that means this picture is taken, this picture was taken when Bangabandhu was coming to home on 10 January 1972. And in section A, there are some questions. Now look, number 1, what do you see in the picture? So look at the picture and what do you see? Find it out. Number 2, who do you identify in the picture? So you will try to identify the people from the picture. And now look, there is Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And number 3, do you find any connection between the picture and the title of the lesson? How? So at first we will read the passage, then we will try to find out those questions. And now we will go to section B. That means this is our main passage about the homecoming of Bangabandhu. Read the story of Bangabandhu's homecoming to answer the questions that follow. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested by the Pakistani army immediately after his declaration of independence at the first hour of the 26th March 1971. He was taken to Pakistan as a captive. Captive means the prisoner, and imprisoned there in a small cell for capital punishment until 7th January 1972. Capital punishment means death penalty, that means death sentence, sentence to death. And even a grave was dug in front of his cell, but Mujib was fearless. He knew nothing would stop the Bengalis to gain independence. In fact, his name and independence became synonymous. So the whole world was awaiting breathlessly to witness his homecoming, and he had a grand homecoming indeed, narrated by eminent columnist and writer Syed Badrul Asa. So now look, Bangabandhu was arrested after his declaration of independence at the first hour of 26 March 1971, and he was he was arrested and taken to taken as a captive, and he was imprisoned in Pakistan cell. And to break his confidence, there was a grave was dug in front of his cell. But still, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was fearless. That means he was not afraid of death. He was very bold on the time, and because he knew that nothing could stop the fearless Bengalis to achieve their independence, and his name and independence become synonymous. That means the name of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman becomes synonymous to independence, and that's why the whole world eagerly waiting for the witness of his homecoming. But on the time he was in the Pakistan jail. But when he became freed from the jail, he came back to home, and it was a grand homecoming. And the eminent means columnist means a very great or great columnist. That means the person who write news regularly, who news column regularly. Syed Badrul Asa narrated his homecoming in a great way. And in the evening of 7 January 1972, Bangabandhu left Chaklala Airport in Rawalpindi, from where he would fly to London. So Bangabandhu was freed, and he did not came directly to Bangladesh. At first he went to London from Chaklala airport, which is in Rawalpindi in Pakistan. And 9 months earlier he was brought to Pakistan as a prisoner with little hope to return. And now he was free to go home. Pakistan, as soon as the PIA aircraft took off, was finally behind him. So now, at last Bangabandhu was free, and he was free to go home after 9 months. And during this 9 months, during the liberation war, there was a little hope to return his home. Early in the morning on 8th January 1972, Bangabandhu arrived at Heathrow Airport. News of Bangabandhu's arrival in London spread quickly. Journalists, the general public, British officials and politicians, and Bengali residents in the city made their way to Hotel Claridge's. News bulletins on the BBC and other media organizations made note of the Bangabandhu's arrival in their headlines. By early afternoon, the father of the nation had met the British Prime Minister Edward Heath and leader of the opposition Harold Wilson. Then he called Dhaka, and for the first time since his arrest by the Pakistan Army in March, spoke to his family. A long conversation then followed with Prime Minister Tajuddin Ahmad. The conversations with his family and with Tajuddin were emotional affairs, but he now had a clear picture of all that had happened in his absence in Bangladesh. It gave him immense pleasure knowing that he had truly liberated his people. So, now look, on 8th January 1972, Bangabandhu arrived at Heathrow Airport, and when he arrived London, his arrival in London spread very quickly. So the journalist of England, then the general public, or the British officials and the politicians and the Bangladeshis who lives there all went to Hotel Claridge's to meet Bangabandhu, because Bangabandhu stayed in Hotel Claridge's, and BBC and other media organizations made a note of Bangabandhu's arrival in their headlines. And on that day, by early afternoon, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman met the British Prime Minister Edward Heath and leader of the opposition, whose name was Harold Wilson. Then he called Dhaka after a long time, and he talked to his family. And then he had a conversation with the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and on the time the Prime Minister of Bangladesh was Tajuddin Ahmed. And do you know, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was the president of Mujibnagar government. The conversations with his family and with Tajuddin were emotional affairs, because they were talking after a long time. And Tajuddin Ahmed gave him a clear picture, gave Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman a clear picture of Bangladesh. And it gives Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman a great pleasure. That means at last he became successful to liberate his people. Bangabandhu's opening words at a crowded news conference that evening at Claridge's was a touch poetic. He expressed the unbounded joy of freedom achieved by his people in an epic liberation struggle. Bangladesh, he told the crowd, was a reality and would fulfill its obligations as part of the international community. He made it clear that those who were involved in different types of crimes, including genocide, would be trialed by his government. So now, Bangabandhu's, there was a conference, news conference on that evening at Hotel Claridge's, and Bangabandhu's word was very much, touching, and he expressed his unbounded joy. That means his joy was no bounds, because his people, that means the Bangladeshi people, achieved freedom, and it was quite epic, quite great I mean, after a long struggle, after 9 months of struggle, after 9 months of liberation war, they achieved their freedom, they achieved independence, and that's why Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was very much excited and he was very much happy, and he also told that it was now a reality that Bangladesh became independent, and Bangladesh, I mean, there was a country like Bangladesh, because now Bangladesh would fulfill all its obligations as part of the international community. And he also made it clear to the news conference that the people who involved in crimes including genocide, that means genocide means the systematic killing of the people, I mean the civilians without any judgment, I mean killing the innocent people, or particularly for some political issues, or for religious beliefs, etc. And that means his government will, this government would will put those people punishment. So this is the tale of homecoming of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. All of you will go through this lesson, and I am going to give you a homework. This is your first homework, that means homework number 1. You will do the exercise number D from your book, which is related to this passage, that means related to section B. Now look, what is the first question? What made Bangabandhu so bold while in the prison? Number 2, how did time change in Bangabandhu's life within the 9 months in a Pakistani prison? Number 3, how did London welcome Bangabandhu? Number 4, do you agree with the statement that Bangabandhu was excited as well as relieved from long anxiety in London? Why or why not? So you can agree with the statement or you can disagree with the statement, but you must give the reason why or why not. And we have discussed it in our live class. So all of you will attend your live class regularly, and it will be helpful for you. And if you have any question regarding this topic, you can ask me in your live class also. So dear students, you can contact me through messenger or over phone, or it is good to contact ask question in your live class. So if there's any problem, I will make you understand in your live class. So all of you will attend your live class regularly and do your homework, which is from section D. That means you will write 4 question answers. So dear students, all of you will do your homework regularly and submit it on every Saturday from 9 am to 3 pm. So dear students, that's all for today. I hope you have understood about today's topic. And dear students, all of you will listen to your parents and study regularly. See you again. Allah Hafiz.